Traders, how are we? Welcome to the live stream. Trader Tom here. Hope you are all marvelous. There are a few things that we are looking at right now, guys, and we'll get into those pretty much straight away. But let me just explain what we're going to do for the next 45 minutes. So firstly, you have to put up with me for 45 minutes. So apologies for that. But secondly, guys, we're also going to take a look at this important news when it comes out. So we have got the ADP non-farm employment change coming out at 1/4 the hour, right? So somebody please remind me, because when I start chatting, very difficult to shut me up. So yeah, we're going to do that, guys. And what's important to know here, guys, is that NFPs is tomorrow. Right, because if you look tomorrow, so this is Thursday, July 3rd, because Friday is July 4th. So there will be not a single sober American, trading pretty much, right? So as you can see, NFPs, where are you? NFPs right here are actually on Thursday this week, right? They're usually on a Friday, but because of July 4th, they are tomorrow. So going back to today, right? So NFPs is non-farm payrolls. Obviously, non-farm employment change is a really good indication of what is going to happen on NFPs tomorrow. Okay, so if we get a positive figure today, there's a strong likelihood we might get a positive figure tomorrow. But it's news. Don't put your house on it. So we're going to take a look at that, guys, 1/4 the hour. I'm going to show you a couple of trades that I am in. Euro is going, is it the euro that's going ballistic right now? Or is it the pound going super weak? The pound is becoming super weak. Did we have, no, we've got no one talking right now. But the pound is taking a right caning right now. Anyone know why? I just looked at the economic calendar. There's no one speaking, like no Bank of England speaking. No news has popped up, but pound is weak, which is good because I am in euro pound for 20%. Okay, so yeah, and let's start with euro pound, because this is the trade that has just kept giving, right? This is the most generous pair this week. Right, we like this pair. Let me just bring up the live chat as well, guys, while we're at it. Let's do that. Right, okay, I can see everyone. Hello, afternoon, everyone. I will take a look at everyone very shortly. And guys, obviously, don't forget to leave a question if you've got one, if you want something you would like to know about trading or need some help with. Maybe it's a currency pair you're looking at. Ask me a question. I enjoy your questions. Right, now, euro pound. We have liked this all week, right? It's in an uptrend. And ever since we got this candle here, right, on Monday, break these highs, we have been buying euro pound. And we've been, when I say we, I mean I, but the VIP as well, right? We've been in and out of this trade. Okay, now obviously it's in an uptrend and we broke this key level, right? And we're just getting bullish, and look, it's going ballistic at the moment. I thought that might be euro strength, but it's more pound weakness. And basically, guys, let me just show you where I got into today. Now, not blowing my own trumpet here, but I could not get better entries if I tried with euro pound. So today, guys, I basically just really like the daily setup. The H4 is in an uptrend. And once price retraced to here, look at it, it's going ballistic. Guys, if anyone could do, yeah, anyone know why pound is going super weak? Anyway, it was in an uptrend. Price retraced to literally here. I literally got in at the bottom of that candle. I could not have had a better entry if I tried. I put my stop below here, and then I took price back up to this 0.8600 level. Got 1:1, closed 80%, right, letting 20% run. When this come back down, right? When this come back down, I was tempted to get in again here, but I was like, no, let's wait and see what the H4 candle finishes like. But, you know, hindsight, I wish I had got, you know, I wish I'd entered more into this trade again. But, you know, a successful trade, guys. And that's where we're at with euro pound. And I also entered New Zealand dollar, US dollar. But this was sort of yesterday evening, guys. I got into this trade. And this is what the trade looked like. But I actually closed this trade early. Okay, so if we look at the day chart, let's just try and understand the trade first, right? We're in an uptrend, right? There was this level here that was quite stubborn, but bang, right? We broke it with this nice bullish candle here, all right? And that's what I actually entered yesterday. Now, if we go to the H4, basically I started entering in here. We've got this nice retrace. So H4 was in this uptrend. We got a nice retrace and I just started buying in here, guys, right? Put my stop all the way down here. All right. And I was looking to take price up to here. Again, I'm just looking to get my 1:1 first of all, right? Once I secure that, I can close 80%, 70%. I can close all of it if I want. And this was the trade that I was in. But I exited it on this candle here because this candle has started to break these lows and, you know, these lows. These lows are not as significant as these lows. But nonetheless, we got a big bearish candle breaking these lows in here. And I just exited. So I closed the trade here. Now, whether this takes me out or comes flying back up, I don't care. It was the right decision. H4 structure was breaking down, right? And it takes quite a lot for H4 structure to break, right? So when it does, pay attention. And if I'm buying this market and we get a H4 structure break, I'm out. So I closed this trade literally at the close of that candle, guys. And if it does come back and knock me out, then instead of losing, this would have been 1%, right? I've roughly, let's say about 0.4%, 0.3, 0.4%. That's all I've lost instead of potentially 1% if it came all the way down here. And that, guys, is an example of a good reason to close a trade early. Because a lot of people say, oh, Tom, when should I close a trade early? Why should I close a trade early? And a structure break is a pretty big one for me, right? The biggest. Yeah, if I get a H4 structure break and I'm in a trade, not interested, right? So there you go. That was New Zealand dollar, US dollar. And as always, guys, just to show you, I give you these trades ahead of time. This, this is not me talking after the fact. So let me just show you in the VIP. So earlier today, this is Dubai time. You can see I bought euro pound, entry, stop loss, target. And then you can see I took profit there. And then this New Zealand dollar, US dollar trade, I closed the trade early at this level for a small loss. And this was the New Zealand US dollar trade here. So yeah, there you go, guys. Those were the trades that I am in today, or was in, still in euro pound. What I do like is US dollar CAD if we get a break of this H1 level. So you can see, guys, that H4, right, is tracking down. Let's start with the day chart. Let's do it in some sensible bloody order. Let's not do it all mix-mashy. So, day chart. For me, we are still in a downtrend. This level never broke, right? So US dollar, Canadian dollar, we're in this downtrend. This level, because of all these wicks, this candle closed back inside, wicks, we never broke that level. So for me, we're in a downtrend, and just as an added piece of confluence, you know, we're below the moving average 20 as well. And look at it, it still has lots of room to move into with US dollar, Canadian dollar on the day chart. Now, if we drop down to the H4, we are also in a H4 downtrend. This is basically where we're at, right? Getting lower. I mean, this, you do class that, but you know, lower highs, lower lows, we're in a downtrend. And you can see we're getting bullish-ish candles, right? We're getting some top wicks. Yeah, it's reasonably bullish. We're around the moving average 20. So the final piece of the jigsaw for me is the H1, right? Normally I can just enter on the H4, but what I really want to see here on the H1 is a break of this level here. You can see it's proving to be good support, right? We've got H1, we've got that coming up, and you can see we're basically here, guys. So what I want to see is a break of this level here. If I get a nice big bearish candle through here, I will be selling US dollar, Canadian dollar, potentially all the way back down to these lows here. All right, stops above here. So that's the trade, but obviously we have news coming out in 2.5 minutes, and I cannot believe I remembered we got news coming out. So that gives me enough time to just say hello to a few people. Prathish, how are you? Haven't seen you for a while. Brett, afternoon, mate. How are you? Yeah, loving all the price action indicator trades, Brett, in the VIP. But who else we got in here? Michael, how are you? Michael, Mark, how are you? Luigi, the most Italian man in the world. Maybe Trump just woke up. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, when Trump wakes up, I'm like, oh, no. He could do with staying asleep. No, I'm only joking. But, you know, you never know what Trump's going to say. He is a loose cannon. Aussie Trev, hey, how are you, mate? Tony Gold, what's up? Adnan, how are you? I hope your studies are going very well. And Phil, hi, mate, how are you? So, yeah, hi, everyone. Hope you are all well. We've got 1.5 minutes before this ADP non-farm employment comes out, guys. So we're just going to wait for that. And see what happens there. Like I say, I'm interested in this US dollar, Canadian dollar sell trade. So if the news does end up giving us a bearish H1 candle like this, then I will consider selling US dollar, Canadian dollar. I mean, it could do that. It could do that, right? But if I get my setup, I will take it. Anyone got any good jokes? You've got a minute. Guys, that's a minute for me to ask you to please subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. You'll see a QR code on the screen. If you tap that, you can come join our trading community. You can share knowledge, ideas, have a chit chat with traders. So please click on the QR code. And if you look above my head, just by joining our free Discord, we will give you 50% off our complete trading course. There is over 10 hours of content in that course. It is a beast, right? So go check it out. What else I want to say? Yeah, if you want access to all of our premium trading education, including the course and my mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one and the VIP, go check out the website. The news is about to come out. Right, here we go. News has come out. Absolutely nothing happened. That is the most damp squid, or has my computer just packed it? No. Oh, hello. No, we're getting a bit of... Okay, so US dollar weakness we're seeing straight off the bat. Let me move this down a little bit because I needed to break that. Okay, so we could end up with a potentially nice trade here. I do also like Aussie dollar, US dollar buys, because this is at a nice H4 area right now, right? This area through here. right? We're at the moving average 20. And you've got to bear in mind, guys, we've only got 45 minutes before this H4 candle finishes. So, yeah, really keeping an eye on Aussie dollar, US dollar, and US dollar, Canadian dollar. You know, I think we could potentially see a trade materializing here. Also, guys, you know, we have to play guess the news game. And, you know, it's a very difficult, complex game that not many people understand. Oh, dear. Laughing at my own jokes. But yeah, guess the news game. So obviously, US dollar news come out. We're getting a very, you know, strong Canadian dollar. We was getting a strong Aussie dollar, which indicates a weak US dollar. So I'm going to say it was worse than expected. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. My God, I'm a genius. How did I manage to think of that? Yes, that is all tongue in cheek and absolute sarcasm. That is a big, big, horrible, ugly, big, horrible, ugly miss. I hope I put enough emphasis on how big a miss that is. Look at that, guys. That's 29K up to 99K. Everyone thinks everything's going well here, down to minus 33. Okay, and that is the employment change. So it's gone from 99,000 employed to minus 33. And if you look, guys, if you click on this, it will tell you exactly what it is, right? If you are interested, right? I'm not really interested. I'm not a news trader, but the ADP, National Employment Report, is a measure of the monthly change in non-farm private employment based on the payroll data of approximately 400,000 US business clients. The release 2 days ahead of government data is a good predictor of the government's non-farm payroll report. As I said, the change in this indicator can be very volatile. A higher than expected reading should be taken as positive, lower bearish. So there you go, guys. And it's a good indicator to know how NFPs is going to do tomorrow, right? So if that's anything to go by, you know, can you almost expect a worse at NFPs? We shall see. I'm going to keep an eye on that. That will be interesting. So there you go, guys. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's take a few of your questions now. Right, Prathish, what is oil doing? In a word, bugger all. Absolutely nothing. That's what oil's doing. Oil just doesn't. Oh, hello. Take that back. Oh, okay. We've had a break. Okay, Prathish, I understand your question now. But oil was pretty much doing nothing in here, right? But now this candle has actually broke out of that high. That is a break of consolidation. This could be a very interesting buy trade. This is Brent, right? Because if you go to the day chart, right? If we go to the day chart, guys, let me just ask you this question, right? Looking at the Brent daily chart, what is the trend? So everyone, right away, guys, you know, we're all here to learn, understand trading. So please give me your answer in the live chat right now. What is the trend? Is it in an uptrend? Is it ranging? Or is it in a downtrend? So guys, please give your answers right now. Philip, West Brom are winning. Okay, I assume this is a friendly. I'm happy. I've been to the Hawthorns. I think I've told you this before. Okay, so M23, bearish. Carla, hi, how are you? Aussie Trev, uptrend. Prathish, uptrend. HD, uptrend. Brett, uptrend. Luigi, uptrend. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, uptrend. Was a joke of the day. Okay. Right. Sorry, Philip. I'm with you now. I don't know if it's bad comedy on your behalf or me not getting good comedy. I think it's me not getting good comedy. Adnan, uptrend. So yes, right, it is in an uptrend, right? Because all you got to do, you just got to plot trend and structure, right? And then really here, guys, it just did nothing. There's no structure breaks here, really, right? But these become the last lows when we break that high. And my God, do we break that high? And then it's come all the way back down. So we're in an uptrend. We're getting higher, all of this in here, higher highs and higher lows, right? Are these going to be the new lows? Who knows with oil right now? But we are at a previous support level in here, right? If you look at Brent or we look at West Texas Intermediate, right? We are back at a previous resistance level becomes support. Let's see if this is broken out. So you can see West Texan hasn't quite, it would need to break that high. West Texan is kind of still in this funk. Oil doesn't know what to do with itself because it's shot up, it's shot down. Now, you know, buyers and sellers are a bit like just taking breath, like what is going on with oil, right? We know all the geopolitical stuff. So it's not going anywhere for me at the moment. But WTI is still in this consolidation in here, right? Whereas Brent, have we had a break? What's the high of this candle? The high is 775. The close is, yeah, we have. I mean, the body of this candle has broken that last high. Do I want to start buying oil? No. What I would wait for, Prathish, and I think it could potentially be a good trade, if we got a nice big bullish daily candle pop off of this level, then okay, I think we potentially got an oil trade on our hands, a buy trade. But right now, just look at those daily candles. There's nothing there. So I would wait for the day chart to tell me. US dollar CAD looks like that trade is lining up. So at the end of this hour, guys, I hope this candle just looks like this and I can start selling there. I hope it finishes right now like that. Please just stay there for 37 minutes, please. Right, and I would start selling that. Put my stop above here, take it lower. So let's see. But it's breaking this key level for me. And this might be on the back of that little push with oil as well. You've got to remember Canadian dollar, you know, if oil is strong, Canadian dollar is strong, right? There's that correlation that you must be aware of. But let's have a look at Aussie dollar, US dollar, see if it's just US dollar. It's just US dollar weakness at the moment. Let's have a look at Euro, US dollar. Yeah, lots of US dollar weakness coming into the market. Because let's just go back to that figure. My goodness. Yeah, look at it. Minus 30 bloody 3. That is a big miss. Hence, you are seeing lots of US dollar weakness. Huge miss. It's that huge a miss. I need a sip of my cup of tea out of my favourite Liverpool FC mug. Right, guys, let's take some of your questions now. Philip says if you supported West Brom, then you would understand. Bring back Jeff Astle. I mean, I'm that old. That name rings a bell. Right, what else are we looking at? Brett, if the H4 candle closes as is now, then a break has happened on the H4. Yeah, also very true. Yeah. So this candle is not only going to be a H1 structure break if it stays like this, right? It's also going to be, if we go to the H4, a H4 structure break, right? Or at least it's breaking this low, right? So yeah, really like US dollar, Canadian dollar sells. I'm just not going to jump in on it. You know, I'm sure some of you get tempted to jump in on it, right? News starts coming down. You're like, right, it's coming down. I'm going to jump jump in on the trade, but just wait for that hourly candle to finish. You know, if it finishes like this, happy days, start selling, right? But you could start selling now, and then you end up with a candle that looks like that. You've got a massive wick on it, and you end up with a bullish kind of candle that looks like that. And you'll be like, I wish I never got in that trade. The other problem with waiting, which is fine, I don't suffer with FOMO unless it's beers on a Saturday night with the lads, then I do have FOMO. But, you know, you could end up with a H4 candle that looks like that, and you can't get into that either, right? It's the risk you take, but there's only one way to trade candles, and that's to wait for them to finish. If you're going to use a candle as a reason to enter a trade, you have to wait for it to finish. But yeah, good point, Brett. Right, we've got a question here. Adnan, hi Tom, I've tested my strategy on FX replay demo and small live accounts with good results. Planning to go funded soon. Do you think FX replay is reliable for testing strategies? It depends. It's a good question, Adnan, but it depends on what your strategy is, right? Now, you know, I think there's, I can't say that. I was going to say I think there's only one way to trade. There's not. There's millions, right? But you must understand price action is my point. Now, if your strategy is based on price action, which is trend and structure, support and resistance, candlesticks, this concept of value, which is pretty much how I trade, right? Then it's very difficult to back test, because when you back test, you cherry pick. You'll be like, oh yeah, that was a nice trade. It retraced on the H4. We had a nice bearish candle. Yeah, I would have taken that trade, right? So it's very difficult to back test a non-mechanical strategy, which is what mine is, right? I see trading, you know, I have a very watertight strategy, and what I do is rinse and repeat pretty much, but you know, it's not mechanical. You couldn't, it's very difficult to back test. Whereas if you had a moving average crossover with a MACD or something like this, then that is super mechanical, and that is very easy to back test. So when it comes to testing anything, it depends on your strategy. So, you know, and even if it is mechanical, or it is, you know, there's a little bit of open to interpretation, there's no better thing than forward testing a strategy, because you need to know if you can trade it, right? You know, you can go tomorrow, right? You can go tomorrow. You could close your eyes, right? Just put in Forex strategies, close your eyes, go on YouTube and pick a strategy, right? And you could start trading it, okay? But, or you could start back testing it. And you're like, oh, Tom, I've back tested it. I've got brilliant results. It's a winner. But then you start trading it and you're not very good at trading it. And that's the real problem. You need to forward test the strategy, as in you need to trade it, because you need a strategy that firstly makes sense to you, because that will help you psychologically trade it if it makes sense. For example, if I said to you guys, right, we're just going to do the moving average 9 across the moving average 20. When it crosses, you buy. When it crosses back the other way, you sell. You'll be like, right, Tom, why are we doing that? I'm like, I don't care. Just do it. I've back tested it. It works. You won't understand it. It won't sit well with you, right? You will be. It just won't. You know, it doesn't make sense, right? I couldn't trade something like it. It wouldn't make sense. Okay. So you have to find something that makes sense. And, you know, obviously price action, trend, support and resistance, I'm sure that makes sense to a lot of people, right? Because it's common sense, it's factual, right? It's like, it's in an uptrend, buy it. This is a good support resistance level. That would be a good area to buy it from, right? There's a bullish candle, buy it. And you'll be like, okay, Tom, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Rather than go, when the 9 crosses the 20, you buy, when it crosses back, it sells. You'll be like, what's going on here, Tom? Have you lost the plot? And yes, I lost the plot years ago. So, and even if it is mechanical, forward test everything. Forward test it. Can you trade it? Right. And another thing is, I've seen so many, when I was on a trading floor, there was so many like these new traders come on the floor, and they were all demo traders. They're like, right, we're going to put you on a demo. And I remember this one lad from Canada, right? And he was like, Tom, I am killing it. And he was like, he was showing me the results, and, he was doing wonderfully. Put him on a live account and, lost money. Right? Didn't blow an account, but just lost money. It didn't make money. It didn't have these crazy figures that it was getting on a demo. So 2 things here, guys. Forward test a strategy that makes sense to you. Right? You have to do that. Secondly, do demo trading to get a feel for things, but really you need to move to a live account to feel the jeopardy of money. Now, I'm not saying go on a live account and start doing $1,000 a trade. No, go on a live account and start doing $1 a trade, right? And feel the jeopardy of money, right? And you need to forward test that also, right? So yeah, forward test. I'm not a big believer in back testing. I'll be honest with you, mechanical or not, I'm not. Right, you've got a forward testing. It's got to make sense to you, and try and get some jeopardy in your trading. Right, that's why a prop firm is quite a good route for people, because let's say you've paid $100 for a 10K account, right? There's jeopardy there. The jeopardy is the $100 you paid for it, right? So that helps you to understand the dealing of money psychologically. Right, so yeah, there you go. So following up to that, Adnan said, my strategy is based on multiple time frames, support and resistance, supply and demand zones, price action, and EMA 20 for balance. I wait for logical confirmations before entries and avoid rushing trades. Yeah, then your back testing, I would say, is pointless. I really would. You need to forward test that, right, and see if and what you really need to do is build the discipline and patience needed to trade a strategy like that and wait for your entries. So yeah, forward test everything, guys. All this back testing, people go on all this, back testing software. They back test something to the hilt. They're like, oh, it made 20% over the last 12 years. Just crap. Unless it's a robot, you can back test a robot. Yeah, so HD makes a good point. You need to believe in it. Yeah, you really do. You need to believe in your strategy. It has to make sense to you, right? We've got a bit of advice here from Mark. My advice on funding, just grow your own account. It's slow, but it's yours. Yeah, nothing wrong with that either. Right, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. Also, guys, please come join our trading community. Check out the QR code on the screen. We'll give you 50% off the trading course. Also, check out the website, www.simply-forex.com. You get access to the course. You can also get access to my mentorship program, where I coach you one-on-one if you're interested in that as well. Right, Brett wants to look at okay, just before we look at Brett's question, so Luigi, Tom, which is better, EMA or SMA? Such little difference. There really is such little difference, right? Yeah, there's no difference, to be honest. Yeah, either's fine. I use simple MA. But honestly, put on your screen, Luigi, EMA 20 and SMA 20. They're pretty much the same thing. Right? I know exponential is more weighted to the last few candles. I understand how it works, but put the 2 lines on your chart, you'll see what I mean. Adnan, you're welcome. Right, what else are we looking at here? Right, Brett wants to look at US dollar, Singaporean dollar. Let's take a look at that bad boy. We haven't looked at that for a while. Let me get my humongous mic out of the way. What is it? US dollar, SGD. Right. So there should be no writing on this chart whatsoever. Nice. So we can do a fresh top-down approach together, right? Right. Okay. All right. I'm just seeing because I'm looking left because we've broke this low here, right? You can clearly see that on the weekly chart. So let me draw that level in. I would even say all of that as well. It was holding, right? So this level was holding. Yeah, it was good support before. It proved to be good support for a few weeks. But then this candle, it has broken this weekly low, right? Now, breakout trading is so difficult, right? And let me explain. Let me have another slurp of tea before it's freezing cold. Already pretty cold. But yeah, why is breakout trading so difficult? Because if, let's just say, it doesn't matter what the time frame is, right? Let's just say we said to ourselves, right, this candle has broken all of these lows. I'm going to start selling the breakout. The problem with a breakout is where do you put your stop loss, right? Are you seeing this as the potentially last high? So you're going to put your stop up here. Are you going to put it above the entry candle, right? A stop loss becomes difficult. A breakout trade is difficult to trade, right? Now compare this with this happening. Let's say price come back towards the moving average 20, right? Perhaps tested this, bit of a level through here. We got a nice bearish reaction, right? That's easy to trade. We start selling here because we got the candle confirmation and we know there's some resistance here, so we can put our stop a bit above it. That's easy to trade, and we've got room to move into. We've already got a target back down to these lows. That is so much easier to trade, right? It is, than start selling here. If I start selling here, right, there's too many unknowns. The unknown is where to put my stop loss, right? It's vague. There's a few places I could put it, but it's not, it's not concrete. Then you have to think to yourself, where's the target? You saw me looking left earlier on, right? If you started selling here, put your stop loss above here, you'd probably have to come down to this 1.25,000 level anyway, right? That's a long way to go, right? And you have to consider on a breakout, this market's already overstretched, right? It's quite a distance from the moving average 20. So lots of things to consider when it comes to a breakout, right? And that's why I trade the retrace. It's a lot easier. You're trading from value. You're trading with trend. It's had a nice pullback, right? You're more confident in it. Because you have to think of any trend, I always use this analogy, as an elastic band, right? So trends go down like this. Let me do it on the screen. I was going to do it with my hands, but so we're in a downtrend, right? You've got, imagine this is an elastic band. We're pulling, we're pulling, we're pulling, we're pulling, we're pulling, bang, we let go. That's why you get a retrace, right? Then we're in a downtrend, so we start selling again. We're pulling the elastic band, pulling, bang, we let go. Think of it an elastic band, right? We pull the elastic band, we let go, it retraces. We pull the elastic band again, we let go, it retraces. We pull the elastic band, we let go, it retraces. And obviously these levels here will be support resistance levels most of the time. right? So think of it like that. And if you look at this elastic band has been pulled, right? This doesn't matter how bearish this is. This elastic band looks a little bit stretched, right? Are we going to see that before we see that? All right, so let's carry on my analysis. So what a long-winded way of saying, but it's good that you know, I says it is a long-winded way, but it's good that you think of the markets like that. That's how they move. So although we've had this big weekly candle break this level, I don't want to sell it. There's no value down here, right? Okay, but if if you said to me, Tom, you have to trade it, I would sell it, but I don't have to trade it, right? The weekly chart is a stay out. There's no value. Now let's go to the daily chart. Right, this is looking far more attractive, but you do need to consider that, weekly chart as well, right? Now, the daily chart looking pretty obvious, right? We've got this downtrend that we're in. We know we're in a downtrend anyway. You just have to look at the weekly chart, right? We're getting lower highs, lower lows. We're in a downtrend. And if price retraces into this grey zone somewhere, I like the look of this 1.28 thousand, moving average 20 comes round, and we got a nice big bearish candle. That's looking like a pretty nice daily sell trade, right? It really is, yeah? Again, not interested in selling it now, but a nice retrace into here. That could be a good sell trade. But even then, it still doesn't get away from the fact that the weekly chart is still so overextended, right? So it becomes tricky. But if I only traded the daily chart or only looked at the daily chart, then a sell in here looks like a nice trade. So there you go. There's my US dollar, Singaporean dollar, couple of pence. I've never been to Singapore. They say it's like the tropical Dubai. So there you go. I thought I'd share that. Right, what else are we looking at? Oh, guys, okay. Mark Bailey wants to look at US dollar CAD 1 hour candle. Your point earlier confirmed. Okay, so where's US dollar CAD? Let's go back to US dollar CAD. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, some of you have been entering sells on the back of that news, and then bang, look at that. Right, so be patient. Once news comes out, don't jump in on it, right? Yeah, so there you go. It's not looking like a sell trade to me until it breaks this low. Let's see what it does at these last highs. And it also worries me when you have such bad data like that and price ignores it. US dollar strength is coming, it almost feels like there's higher powers at play. They're like, sod the news, I don't care, we're going strong US dollar. You can't help but think that when price ignores such big news. So let's see. Let's see what Aussie dollars, US dollars doing. Okay, so we need it to hold on to. Yeah, I mean this could be a H4 breakdown as well on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Right, so yeah, still got 15 minutes. But if it looks like that, not interested in buying that anymore. Yeah, let's see. Right, what we've got here. Good morning, Cynical. How are you? You have my cup. Good man, Cynical. If you are a Liverpool fan, you are always welcome here. So Cynical's got a question now. I have a simple question concern. I'm relatively new to swing trading since most entries are 4 hour. Time of day won't matter as much as trading on the 1 to 15 minute chart. No, for me, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. You can only trade. It doesn't matter if you scalp the 15-minute or you intraday trade the H4 or swing trade the H4. You can't control when you trade, right? I'm a full-time trader. but I only want to trade, like not a few hours, but normal hours. I don't want to be up, I don't want to be at 11 p.m. looking at the chart. I've done that and it's awful, right? So I just get to the charts, pick a couple of trades. If I get a setup, happy days, I trade them, right? Now, I can't control when that will happen, right? It could happen in the London Open. It could happen in the New York Open. It could happen in the Asian session when I'm asleep. I have no control over that. I just trade the hours. It means I'm going to miss some trades. It means I'm going to get some other trades. And it works itself out in the end. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what you trade, scalping, H4, trade when you can. The only thing I would say is make sure you're fully focused and switched on when you are trading, right? Don't come in from work. You've had a terrible day at work. You put on your computer. You're like, right, I'm going to find a trade. That's the killer. That will kill your trading, right? But if you come home, take your time, do your analysis across multiple pairs, or maybe you've already done it in the morning or whatever, then sit down, look for one of your setups. If you see them, take it. If you don't. All right. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for joining me. Please don't forget to join me same time tomorrow, 8 a.m. New York EST time. We are going to answer more of your questions there as well. So yeah, come join us tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, guys. Check out all the other things we do. Come join us, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios, amigos.